Well, hello there, everybody. My name is Tony Grillo. Welcome to my channel, Wisconsin Hugs. Here, I'm actually in the right there. If you can see that, there's a sign there. It says Froedtert Hospital. It's the biggest hospital here in Milwaukee. It's also probably it's like kind of like our equivalent of the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Um, they really big place. Kind of takes up about 4 or 5 different streets. And the fact is, over there, they are building a brand new parking facility, probably because they don't have enough room for all the parking that they need to do at this hospital. And they've actually got like 4 or 5 different parking buildings, but now they're building another one. Kind of I had a really big scare last night. I haven't talked much about my girlfriend's condition, but she's had a history of heart problems in the past, and she's actually had open heart surgery, and she has uh, a artificial uh, heart valve was that has been put into her. So she kind of has like you can hear it, like her heart's like ticking, and you know she was, I guess, was supposed to have a heart transplant at some point, but uh, like she tells me, she said that, I mean, donors for a heart transplant, that's pretty tough to come by. And she's like, I don't know if I'd ever get a to be able to transplant into me, but she's been taking really good care of herself and exercising and eating right, and she can't do too much stress. She can't lift really heavy things, and she's supposed to kind of take it easy stairs, and she can't go hiking too far, and especially she's not supposed to elevate the heartbeat. She's supposed to keep that constant, but she does a pretty good job at that. And she's been told by doctors that she's lucky she's still alive. She's kind of a miracle patient here. And so, and then I don't know, about what, 9 weeks ago, I had my stroke, and I'm doing pretty good recovering from that. My arm's doing really well. I've been typing. I was playing tennis. I was shooting pool. I even do weightlifting. So I'm feeling very good. In fact, my weight's gone back down again, and I would like to go out and run today. But we had a scare last night. Her daughter, the heart condition is a genetic trait in the family. So it came from the mom, and then it's been passed on to the daughter, and it's also been her daughter has 3 sons, and it's been passed on to at least 2 of the sons, and so her daughter had a scare last night. She couldn't breathe. She had pains going on, and her daughter is very young. She's just a young girl. Probably not even, I think, barely in her 30s. And she, so, she was over at uh, uh, my girlfriend's mom's place, the grandma. She was over there when she called her mom, and we went and rushed over there, and she took one look at her daughter, and she's like, yeah, we were going to drive her to the hospital. And she's like, she saw her daughter was really pale, and she's like, no, I'm going to drive you right to the hospital. We're going to call an ambulance. And so they called the ambulance, and they drove her, from Cudahy over to Froedtert, which Froedtert's kind of like West Allis, Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, and well, thank God they did, because she was essentially, she was having a heart attack, and what they call it, I'm learning as I go here, but apparently her daughter had what they call a I want to, how is this called? It pronounced? It's like a heart dissection, is what it's called. Her valve, her aortic valve, aortic. I forgot. Aorta. I'm saying it wrong, but it's spelled like Aroata. The carotid. Is it carotid? The valve, the main valve that pumps the blood. You know, there's been she had an embolism in there where there was a swelling, and then there was a tear, and that's the dissection is what happened. It's called a tear. She had a tear in her heart, right where the valve is and where the heart connect, and so pretty serious condition. I was Googling this. It's like a condition that you normally see in a 60 to a 70-year-old man, or somebody that is a heavy cocaine drug user, because the cocaine drugs, what the cocaine does is it enlarges the heart, and then it creates the tear, so but because of her her family history with the weakened heart, I forgot what they called that. I think it's called pharma. I think it's what it's called. But because that's been passed on genetically, it hit her daughter. Got hit. Her daughter's been, waitressing, and she's lifting heavy weights, and she's been smoking a little bit, and it all of that. And then there's been some major stressors going on in her life too, with her situation with her children, and so it all of that just combined to put all these stressors on her, and she finally, her heart just kind of gave out on her, and she had that tear in there, and so now she's here at Freighter. And we had originally thought they were going to do surgery right away, but now they're saying, no, we're better off waiting as long as we can before we do the surgery, because apparently the surgery it's really touch and go. There could be there's like a 10 to 15% chance of paralysis. There's also a chance of infection, pretty major chance of that, and there's also a chance that she might not survive. So it's a very scary situation, for the whole family, for my girlfriend's family, for us, for me, but especially for her daughter, being in this situation here, and she's so young, and she's a mother of 3 boys, and so that's what I've been working on. I've been, going job hunting, trying to find a job, and that's been challenging in itself. Everything's done like on the cell phone now, everything with technology, but now I'm finding out that there are actually scammers. I thought the scammers were, mostly but I guess wherever anybody, wants a job really bad, the scammers will show up, and, I'm seeing sites where like they want you to enter a credit card number to apply for a job, and I'm seeing things where they want you to give out your bank statement, and I don't feel comfortable doing any of that stuff. So, when I see stuff like that, I've just kind of stopped doing the application process, because I don't, it just doesn't feel right, And so now I got to go back and I got to see, are these companies, are they real companies or are these scamming operations? And it's a pain in the butt. It really is. I'm getting frustrated because I'm getting a million messages, texts every day, and I'm going through all of them, and then you go through the links, and it's the same job you applied for 2 days ago, and you're not getting any responses, and then you're starting to wonder, like you go through Indeed or you go through some of these other sites, and you're wondering if this is even real, or is it just like Indeed just wants you to go on their website, have you answer a bunch of questions, and make it pretend like you're applying for a job at this company, just so you read the damn ads that keep popping up, because there's like a million ads that pop up, and maybe that's how they make their money, is just by people going to their websites and and reading all the ads, because there's a million ads there. I made the mistake of typing in that I might be interested in going back to school, and I have been getting a million phone calls from all these colleges, online colleges everywhere, just wanting to offer their services for school, go back to school. I have a bachelor's in college, but that was a long time ago. I graduated like 30 some years ago. So and so I'm this is all new to me, because I have been driving semi-truck for over 20, I've been working for 30 years. I've been driving semi-truck probably over 25 years. And so I'm trying to get everything cleared from the doctor so that I can get my CDL license back, but I really don't want to go back to driving semi-truck. I actually want to I got this great girlfriend, and and I bought a house in Cudahy, and I moved out of this small town out of Lowell, Wisconsin. Great town, Lowell, Reeseville, Clyman area. I lived there for 20 years, got married there, got divorced there. My kids grew up there. I was on the volunteer fire department. A lot of great people there. I love them all out there, but there's not there at that time. There wasn't any work, and the only people that would hire me were the trucking companies that are out there. And so I worked for Kane Transfer for like 20 some years, but here's the thing: during that 20-year period of time, I worked a lot of hours, didn't take much vacations, worked a lot of 6-day weeks, and then and then they would schedule weird things like, you come back to the yard and you still had 4 hours left of driving to do, but you come back at like 3 o'clock and they say, okay, park. We want you to park the truck because we've got another driver bringing a trailer, and you have to deliver that trailer in Minneapolis, and you have to be there at 9 in the morning, and it's like a 6-hour drive. So that means I have to, they wanted me to park the truck at 3 o'clock, go do my 10-hour reset at 3, and then get up at 1 and then take off, to go to Minneapolis. And that throws off your sleep pattern. They did this to me a couple times a week, like for 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row. And my sleep pattern got totally thrown off. Next thing you know, you're drinking way too much coffee and you're drinking soda to try to stay awake. And I'm not a smoker, but and the weight starts coming because you're tired all the time, and your sleep pattern's going off, and then you're putting on the weight, and then next thing you know, you're having a heart attack, or you're having a stroke, seizure, or brain aneurysm, or whatever, and so, and then you spend your vacation, Labor Day weekend, in the hospital trying to recover from a stroke, not knowing if you're ever going to be able to move your right arm ever again. I spent 2 days not knowing if I'd ever move this arm again, which, they're like, well, we gave you muscle relaxers, and it was like, yeah, but okay, why is this arm not having any trouble moving, but this arm is, so the muscle relaxer thing didn't always sit well with me, but I've been very lucky that my recovery has gone well, because I could have been paralyzed, I could have been stuck in a wheelchair, I could have had my girlfriend's brothers could have been building ramps all over my house, and I wouldn't be able to even go up the stairs or even get into a bathtub. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I can still live a normal life, and everybody that looks at me when they see me, when I'm running 6 miles now, I'm up 6 miles running, and they see me, they don't even suspect I ever had a stroke, which I'm very fortunate. It didn't screw up my speech pattern either. So I'm very lucky. I was very fortunate that when I had to rewire my brain to get my arm to move, it happened very fast. I've even been able to type. I can type again. I can write my name again. I can write. I can eat with my fork hand. Just the things you take for granted. Tie your shoes. And so I've been very fortunate. But now we're in this situation now where my girlfriend's daughter is really, she's in a worse spot than I was, or even her mom was. But we got her at Freighter here. This is like the best hospital in this area in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. The people here are just fantastic. The doctors here are top-notch, classy group of people, smart and very, very good at what they do. They save lives here. So, I drove the girlfriend here. She's in the hospital room right now with her daughter. She's just going to spend, I don't know, she's probably going to stay here like every day of the week, So it's probably kind of fortunate that I don't have to go to work, because I can help her, I can help her, be here for her and be here for her daughter and that kind of thing. So that's what we got going. I know this video is kind of long and I kind of went all overboard. Just pray for us. Pray for my girlfriend's daughter. I'm hoping that she will come out of this. I mean, this is really going to suck if it goes bad. Because that's my girlfriend. That's her only child. That's her only daughter. The story is that my girlfriend was very young when she had her daughter. She was actually 16 years old when she got pregnant with her daughter. She was dating an 18-year-old guy, and she kept the baby, and she had her daughter. So she was a kid having a kid, and then she was raised. Her family was very supportive. Her brothers, her sister, the mom, they were all supportive. They did everything they could to help, raise, my girlfriend's daughter. And then, like 2 or 3 years later, all of a sudden, my girlfriend is, in the hospital, and they're saying, you have this heart condition. You're going to have this artificial, ticker put in there, and you can never have another child ever again because the strain would be too much. So it's kind of weird how, God works miracles. She was 16 and healthy enough to have a baby. Yes, her daughter has some genetically passed issues with her own heart, but she did give birth to her daughter. She had her daughter. She loves her daughter very much, and her daughter loves her. And her daughter went on to have 3 sons. And yeah, there's some genetic passed on there, but at the same time, they're there's a lot of love, for these kids. And if they do everything right, they should be able to have long, happy lives. They have to take their medication, they have to watch what they eat, and they have to all that stuff. They can't smoke cigarettes and try to avoid stress and all that stuff. It's something they're gonna have to live with, but they can live long lives. But right now, her daughter this really couldn't have come at a worse time, for my girlfriend's daughter. So yeah, 20 minutes now I've been blabbing away. But so anyways, that's about all I got for you guys. I know usually I try to make my videos more happy. I guess maybe I could end it with this little story. What was it, like a couple days ago? Um, we were my girlfriend. This was before the whole thing with her daughter had happened, and my girlfriend she needed to run around and get some groceries and stuff, and she helps out her mom quite a bit. She was cleaning her mom's place and all that stuff, and apparently she must have taken her bra off and she threw it in the back of my pickup truck, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, what the hell, like we went and got the groceries, and then I was throwing everything in the back seat, and I noticed this bra laying around in the back seat, and I said, I'm like, what the hell is this bra doing in the back? I mean, I don't leave my underwear in her back seat of her car, but it's just kind of funny. I was like, this bra is sitting there in the back seat, and she was also helping throw groceries in the back seat. And I said, hey, is this bra yours? And she's like, yeah, it is. I said, oh, that's good. I just wanted to make sure it was yours and not someone else's, that maybe left it here by accident. And, she's like looking at me like, yeah, she's like, yeah, it's a good thing. I love you, that kind of look. But I don't know if she'll ever leave any bras in the backseat of my truck anymore. Probably not. But, I love her, and she loves me. And yeah, like, I got a friend here on YouTube who always says, yeah, when you guys going to get married? And I joke around sometimes when people ask me, and I said, well, I got to go check with my neighbor first, and so I went and checked with my neighbor, and I asked them when they were getting married, because they're a young couple, live next door to me, and they've been together 9 months, and they said, it was funny you asked us that, because we were looking for rings this week. So yeah, they're already looking for rings, and yeah, I haven't got that far yet with my girlfriend. We just been trying to just all this crap going on, the stroke and then I'm in between jobs right at the moment. I mean, my company, they've been pretty good about like, they've been fantastic as far as they've been sending me vacation pay, because apparently workers' comp is saying this could have happened at a Walmart. I know it happened to you at work, but you could have had that at Walmart. And I'm trying to argue, saying, it was work. Maybe it could have, it probably could have. And, but at the same time, work conditions, work, the weird sleeping schedules, the constant working 6 days a week, the constant, like, getting back late on a Friday and then having to leave early morning, like we're talking 2-3 in the morning on a Monday, or leaving on a Sunday. You have no weekends. You really don't get any weekends. Doing that for 20 years, that's going to take a toll on a guy, and that's exactly what it did. It put me in the hospital twice, once with a heart attack and the second time with a stroke. And then, it also caused, I honestly believe it caused a divorce, with my ex-wife. So you're 20 years and you're thinking, where did it get me? Where did it get me? And then you get, here's another thing too. I have a son now that, I have twin boys, and one of my sons is saying, I'm thinking about getting into trucking, Dad. What do you think? And I honestly could not recommend him to get into trucking. I'm like, find a different career. You don't want to do trucking. You really don't. If you can do something different where you're home every night, and you're getting exercise, and, do that. Don't go into trucking. I could honestly not. I just, the gut feeling is I could not, like, in all, good-heartedness, I could not recommend trucking for him as a career. I couldn't recommend it to him. My gut was saying, go run away from trucking, go do something else, do not do trucking. I only did it because I had a CDL and a college degree at the same time, and at the time my college, I got a job with Waste Management at that time, and And they were like, well, we might not need you to hop in and out of the truck, you know? And so that's what I did. I got my CDL at the same time. And it was always kind of my backup job, you know? It was never meant to be my full time job. And then it wanted to be my full time job when nobody else would hire me, you know? And then I kind of got stuck doing it. And now I'm in a situation where I'd like to do something different. And it's a wild game. This whole thing of trying to find a job and everything. It's pretty crazy, you know. And now I'm learning there's scammers out there, and frustrating. And you know, and these job sites are frustrating as hell because you know it just I'm you know, I don't know. I actually talked to a manager at a Walmart, and he said, "Yeah, your best bet's probably just go talk to the human resource manager at the store, and go from there." You know, and that's probably what I might have to do, just because I want to start working again. You know, I'm tired of sitting around. But all right, now this video got really long, but all right, everybody, I'm gonna let you go. Take care. Have a great week. Have a great week. Rest of your week here, and yeah, I'll check in sometime later when I know what's going on. Hopefully, I've got great news to report. I don't want to report anything sad or bad or anything like that. So, and you guys all take care. Wisconsin hugs.